Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to be conducting a little workshop for you. It is the first day of spring today, so I thought I would take this opportunity to go through a spring refresh. Let's talk about how you can manifest your goals using our Mystic Michaela Manifestation Journal. This is our partnership with psychic aura reader, Mystic Michaela. And today, this workshop is all about setting the tone for a fresh start this spring. We are talking about how we are renewing our energy, we're setting clear intentions, and also incorporating how we can take action using our manifestation journal as well. So as I'm going through this, I encourage you to grab your own Mystic Michaela Manifestation Journal and use it alongside me, or grab a notebook and start your own session. Hey, Sandra, thank you so much. Okay. I want to also start this by, hey, Jonathan, starting this off with just a little introduction. So in the beginning of this, you are going to be finding a little welcome page to set the tone for your journey and what to expect. You will find some quotes throughout as well to keep you motivated and moving forward. Now, the first step in this is all about taking accountability, because manifestation is the act of bringing something into your life through focused thoughts, beliefs, and actions. So you are essentially creating your desired reality by aligning your inner state with your goals. And so part of this process has to be recognizing everything that has happened in your life, be it good or bad, things that you have manifested. Because once you do that, you are able to accept it and move on. And this is going to help moving forward, give you that self-awareness to align your actions with your intentions. This can definitely be challenging, so take your time with it and don't judge yourself as you're going through it. That is not what this is about. This is about letting go of the past and really just accepting everything that's happened so you can be in the present moment. And that is how you start off your manifestation journal. The next thing that you are going to do is the look inward section. This is all about highlighting your motivations, your authentic self, that life purpose, and taking it one step further and seeing, okay, so what areas of my life am I living most authentically? How can you incorporate that into all parts of your life? How can we live a life of authenticity that will also connect us to our life purpose? Because those two things go hand in hand. You cannot be working towards your life purpose if you don't know who you are. And this is going to challenge you, but again, leaning into that challenge is going to make all the difference. And then the last step in section 1 of this to prep you for your daily manifestation is the vision board. You need to visualize your future. In this case, start by visualizing your spring, your ideal spring season. Let's start there. Let's give ourselves something to look forward to. Because visualization is also key to manifestation, because you cannot visualize, you cannot manifest if you don't know what you want to feel. That's what I need you to tap into when you're creating this vision board, is how do you want to feel once you reach these goals? Be as specific as possible without obsessing over the outcome, because how you get there might look different than how you planned. And that is a part of manifestation that can be tricky, but it's key. You need to reinforce that feeling you want to get. That's what it's all about. There is a lot that you can visualize, but again, making sure you are intentional with what you put here. And before I dive into a daily manifestation, really the heart of this workshop today, I just want to also showcase that this will have a little introduction page to explain what these different prompts are if you're feeling a little stuck. So now I'm going to dive right into this workshop. I only want to spend a little bit going over the beginning, but if there's any questions as well as I'm going through this, anything you want me to come back to, just let me know. That's what this is all about. So let's take a look over to, we're going to take a blank page. This was an example of one of our previous sessions on here, so I'm just going to start right here. Now I'm going to grab my zebra mild liner just to highlight each category as we talk about it. So first, this daily mantra right here. I want our example today, in order to align with the spring refresh, we are going to be manifesting abundance and fulfillment, but not focusing on the money type. I want us to really focus on this abundance and fulfillment in terms of ourselves. So how can we create this spring refresh, this vibrant energy within ourselves and our external reality as well? And what a daily mantra is this is an affirmation to really align your energy. I want you to write down something in the present tense. This is always written in the present tense. It can be a short, powerful phrase that just helps you connect with your goal. And so the goal example, once again, for today is manifesting abundance and fulfillment, but not in a money sense. So when you are going about your daily mantra, I want you to ask yourself, what is it that is in the way of me reaching my goals right now in terms of how I'm speaking to myself, in terms of the actions you're taking? Maybe you're telling yourself that, I don't think I can do it, or I don't deserve to reach this goal. Maybe you are self-sabotaging. There's so many different ways that holds us back in a daily sense. And so for a daily mantra that I encourage you to start with in order to manifest this abundance and fulfillment is, I am deeply fulfilled, surrounded by love, creativity, and purpose. So again, I'm going to write this right up here. You'll see this first box is for your daily mantra. And I am going to tell myself whenever I'm feeling a little off, when my mind starts to wander and I can't seem to get it to shift back to that present moment, I am going to tell myself, I am deeply fulfilled, surrounded by love, creativity, and purpose. So I also would like to take a moment and discuss this concept of manifestation, because now that we have our daily mantra, it makes us think, okay, what is it though that differentiates manifestation from other parts of life, right? So manifestation, it is living alongside self-actualization, because self-actualization is the process of reaching one's full potential and achieving personal fulfillment. So these two concepts, it's manifestation, which is the act of bringing something into your life through focused thoughts, lives alongside self-actualization, which is the process of reaching your full potential. So in order to reach your full potential, you need to make sure that you are living in a state of high vibration, because manifestation is like attracts like. You cannot attract a high vibe, a high energy, a high experience if you are not mentally living in that higher energy. So for instance, if you feel yourself lately, maybe the winter time was really tough and you found that you were in a lower vibration. You just were struggling with your self-thoughts and the way that you were speaking to yourself. So now that it is spring, you are ready to refresh your mindset. You want to live in a higher vibe. So that way you can attract that higher self-fulfillment, abundance that you are working so hard to accomplish. And so step one in order to do this is to have that positive affirmation, that positive daily mantra that you can repeat to yourself that really aligns with what you want to feel. So ask yourself, how do I want to feel? How can I get there? And what is it that I want that end result to feel like? Again, I can't emphasize the feeling aspect of this enough. So I am deeply fulfilled, surrounded by love, creativity, and purpose. Amazing. Now, the next step in our spring refresh daily mantra, daily manifestation is my goal/intention. So let's just go ahead and highlight that. Your goal/intention, this is going to be written in the present tense once again. I want you to think about what it is that you want to accomplish in terms of especially that feeling in this case. So we are really focusing on manifesting abundance and fulfillment without that money focus though. Okay? And so your ultimate goal from this in this situation is my life is overflowing with joy, connection, and purpose. That is how I want you to feel. So to turn this into a goal, I want you to ask yourself, what is it that we are trying to cultivate? Because abundance isn't just material. It is about feeling whole, joyful, and also connected to yourself and others. And so what is our main focus that we want to feel? Well, I am cultivating a life filled with meaningful relationships. Let me write this as I go. I am cultivating a life. This is our crystal pen. I'm just going to open that up. I am cultivating a life filled with meaningful relationships, because that is a part of abundance. Now, you'll notice in our daily mantra, we had the word creativity. So that tells us, okay, creativity is really important in this manifestation session. We are trying to manifest an external reality to align with our internal of a state of creativity. So we want to make sure that that is written in our goal. So we're going to add creative expression. And ultimately, deep personal growth. I'm going to have this be the word and I added the word deep because personal growth is a overall concept, but in this case, we really want to tap into the deeper parts, not that superficial layer. We want this to be deep, fulfilling, long-lasting personal growth. So thinking about your wording is going to be very important. Let's take this one step further too. Let's add in something about how we navigate every day. Because here at Define, it is so important that we are navigating each day with purpose. That is what we strive to accomplish for each and every one of you. And so part of that is asking ourselves, how are we going to show up today? How do we want to show up tomorrow and the day after that? So I choose, notice that I'm writing this in present tense. That is how you have to do this. You need to shift your mindset to the place as though you have already reached your goals. Just saying that out loud already makes me feel like I am one step closer and I feel my energy lifting. So I choose to show up with authenticity. Hey, Jaylene. With authenticity. I also want to make sure that alongside this internal, we have this focus on surrounded by love. So we want to make sure that we are also nurturing your connections. So nurture my connections. And embrace the present moment with, I would say, gratitude alongside this purpose concept, because it's really important with manifestation that yes, we are trying to cultivate that future that we want to see and experience and feel. But it's also important that as we are going through this, that we can take a moment to recognize what it is on a daily basis that we are grateful for. Because one of a saying that always struck a chord with me was that idea of you can be happy with where you're at by working towards where you want to go. Because I think there's something to be said about enjoying the present moment while knowing you want to constantly evolve and reach this deeper personal growth. So we're going to have this present moment with, let's add the word gratitude and carry in that purpose from our daily mantra. And that is our goal / intention for today. And I'm going to be carrying it with us through spring, because this is the first day of spring. I want to make sure that we are all entering it with high vibrations, high energies. And through this on a daily basis, you are not only telling the universe, hey, I am really trying to cultivate a world of abundance, but you are also putting in the work, because those two things go alongside one another. Okay. Next, I'm going to grab that zebra mild liner again, and I'm highlighting these to just make sure that you guys are on the same page. You know which one we're talking about. And so let's highlight the gratitude section. One thing that you might not know is that gratitude is actually the quickest way to raise your vibes, according to Mystic Michaela, because this instantly helps you recognize one good thing that's going on for you. Whether it's internal, whether it's external, it truly does not matter what it is you are grateful for, as long as you are taking that time to recognize, you know what, I am grateful that the universe has allowed X, Y, or Z into my life. Because again, it comes into that idea of how can we live in this present moment and embrace it while maintaining that overarching idea of that we want to feel something deeper. And so one thing that we could be really grateful for today, I have been finding that this sense of peace that I feel at this moment in time. Because again, I want to ask myself, okay, while I'm trying to manifest a life of meaningful relationships, I also want to embrace that present moment. And right this second, it's the first day of spring. I feel excited. I feel this sense of contentment with where I'm at and where I'm going. And so I want to write that as one thing I'm grateful for is the sense of peace I feel right now. And I'm going to divide this box into two, because another thing I'm feeling very grateful for is that we have spring is upon us. And if you live in a spot where winter's cold, there's snow, you know, okay, this is a shift in the energy. Things are going to change. Nothing changes overnight, but we're going to work towards it. We're going to be excited about this opportunity of a spring refresh. So I am grateful for this. I'm going to write for the first day of spring. The first day of spring, because there's always a different energy in the air when you know the sun's coming. We have more sun than we ever could imagine coming on us soon. And the days are longer, which is the best. So those are just two different ideas of what you could be grateful for right now. Now, I also want to talk about your self-worth checks, okay? Because this is how we are going to build confidence in ourselves. And confidence is something that we have to always be working on in terms of believing in ourselves, because it's more than just I'm confident in how I look. No, confidence is this internal belief that you are worthy, that you are capable, and that you belong, okay? So let's start off with this self-worth check right here. This is a really important one. I think it's a way to remind yourself of all the beauty that you have, of all the worth that you have, and really your power in the way you think, okay? Because whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. That quote is another one that always really stuck with me, because the way we speak to ourselves matters. And it matters especially when it comes to manifestation, because in order to manifest something, we need to be at that higher vibration. I come back to this a lot because this is the key to manifestation. It is that when you shift your mindset, I want to give an example here just of a really straightforward way to understand it. Okay. So let's say you really want a car, right? You're in the market to purchase a new vehicle and you really want a blue car. That is what you have always wanted. And you are feeling, you know what? I am ready for this. I have saved up. I am ready to purchase a blue car. Now, you have probably driven, I don't know how many times, and you have probably seen so many blue cars, but you never recognized it until you are trying to manifest a blue car. So now all of a sudden, your brain is going to be seeing blue cars. And it's ultimately going to lead to the shift in your external reality, because now your internal reality is telling you that this is what you want. This is what we're working towards. That is just a little example of how manifestation is such a powerful tool in our perspective on a daily basis, and how we are going to start seeing things in a way that aligns with what we are trying to manifest, if we are open to it. We do have to make sure that we are open to it. So to be open to it, we have to tell ourselves that we are capable of whatever we set our minds to. And this is going to help remove that self-doubt as well. So let's grab our crystal pen once again. And we are going to challenge ourselves to, instead of saying, maybe subconsciously you're telling yourself, I'm not really worthy of this deeper connection with people. I keep it surface level because I'm afraid to let others in. No. We are going to cut that out. Whenever you have that feeling, that thought, even if you're not recognizing it throughout the day, throughout the week, whatever it might be, I want you to tell yourself, I am worthy of deep and meaningful relationships. Because this connects us with that abundance that we are trying to manifest this spring. I am worthy of deep and meaningful, because again, coming back to that idea of abundance can be more than just quantity. Oftentimes, quality in abundance is so much more important, because you are worthy of deep and meaningful relationships. So that is the first way that you are going to tell yourself, you know what? I am worthy. That is how I like to say, this is how you check yourself. Stop thinking that you can't, that you're not enough, that you're not worthy, because you are. Okay? That is step one. The next step, because you can never tell yourself enough positive messaging and reminders. So we have you do 3. And so let's talk about then this feeling of being enough, because oftentimes with abundance, it's I'm not enough. We want to shift that to I am enough. I have the power, that more, So let's shift the way we think about it in terms of when we walk into a room, why are we doing certain things? Why are we choosing certain actions? Is it because we want to prove it to others? Maybe. But why? Why are we working so hard to prove ourselves to other people? Why can't we prove it to ourselves? Okay? So, my presence alone is valuable. I want you to look in that mirror and tell yourself, my presence alone is valuable. I don't need to prove anything. Notice how this is also written in the present tense. All of manifestation is designed to be written in the present tense so you can shift your thoughts now, shift your energy now, and shift your actions now, okay? So that is another thing I want you to tell yourself. You don't need to prove anything. And the third self-worth check that I want to write today is about this feeling with connections with other people. People are often thinking, okay, what do I bring to the table? And oftentimes the problem with this question is that we're only touching the surface. It's the superficialness of it all, right? But you bring so much more. You bring your beauty in terms of your thoughts. You bring your actions in terms of you want to help other people. You want to make these relationships so strong. And that is how you are really feeling like that is what you bring to the table. You bring yourself to the table, okay? You don't need anyone else's permission to sit at the table. You can sit at the table because I bring love and I bring light into the lives of those around me because it's true. You bring so much more than you give yourself credit for. And I want you to remember that. I think that one really stood out to me when I was thinking about what I wanted to include for our self-worth checks today is I want to repeat it. I bring love. I'm going to write it as I do this. I bring love and light. Oh, I added an extra E there. Love and light into the lives of those around me. Okay, so if you ever feel that thought is coming in of, I don't belong here. What am I doing here? I'm not, I guess imposter syndrome is another saying, no. You are bringing so much more than you give yourself credit for. Your existence alone can bring love and light into those around you. Okay, so touching on a deeper connection, a deeper feeling in this manifestation session to enter spring, rejuvenated, excited, and ready for what's to come. So that is how I want you to go about the self-worth check. The next thing I want you to work on is the scripting. So I'm going to, again, highlight this to just make sure that we all know which prompt we are on. And I just used the zebra Mildliner once again for that. But then to actually write in the box, I'll use our crystal pen. So scripting is writing as if this goal, so our goal of intention right here of I am cultivating a life filled with meaningful relationships, creative expression, and deep personal growth. I choose to show up with authenticity, nurture my connections, and embrace the present moment with gratitude and purpose. Scripting is about writing as though this has already happened. A question I like you to ask when you're doing your scripting is, what does this goal do for me? What is it changing? Okay, in terms of how you go about your day, how you feel when you're in that throughout the day, when you're feeling in that present moment, what are you shifting? The reason we have you write this in the present tense is because this is going to help rewire your mind to believe and attract these experiences naturally. That is what scripting is all about, is rewiring the way we think and ultimately allowing our goal/intention to be able to occur. So, how do you want to feel today as though this goal has already happened? Okay. So again, how do you want to feel when this goal comes to fruition? What is it you are trying to get from this goal? Well, I want to wake up and I want us to feel connected and at peace. So I feel so connected and at peace. Again, aligning with this abundance and fulfillment idea today for our spring refresh. I want us to also tap into what did we do today? So again, this is written in the present tense as though it's already happened. So what do we do today that helps us with this goal? Well, today I spent time with people who truly understand me. So again, pausing here for a second to see, okay, this is a part of the meaningful relationships we're trying to cultivate. Great. But let's add more, because what is it that you felt in this moment? And I felt seen and loved. Because again, you want to ask yourself what you feel when you reach this goal. I can't emphasize that enough. I truly cannot, because we need to not just scratch the surface when it comes to those feelings that we want to get with manifestation. We have to go deeper. You can never go deep enough when it comes to manifestation, because every single time you peel back a layer, every time you write a script, you are realizing one more feeling that this goal is going to do for you. And that is already going to start shifting the way you go about your day, because you're going to start trying new things. Maybe saying no to the things that you know are not going to push you in the right direction. And saying yes to things, to people, to opportunities that are out of your comfort zone that will help you to reach this life that you are trying to cultivate. But let's take it even further. What did you do in this moment? Well, I love to laugh. So laughter is really important to me when it comes to these deeper connections. But not like just jokes, just like you want to laugh, you want to enjoy the people you're with. So I laughed a lot. But also I listened. Because you can't expect to have listening ears all the time if you're not listening to them in return. And in order to create these deep and meaningful relationships, we have to be willing to listen to all parts of what people are saying. So what they're saying, what they're not saying, and what they're trying to say, but are too afraid to tell you. So I listened. And I also wanted to make sure that we talk about the end of our goal, which says embrace the present moment with gratitude and peace. So let's also add in a line for our script about how I was fully present. And I was fully present in the moment. But how else can we do this? Because great, now we tackled the meaningful relationships, hey Lilia, part of this. We tackled the deep nurturing friendships, relationships, whatever it might be in terms of relationships. But how can we tackle this idea of creativity, creative expression, and deep personal growth, as well as nurturing it? So, what is it that you did today that brings about these feelings and this goal/intention? So, maybe something that you do for your creative expression. Again, you have to write this as though it's happening. So maybe right this second, you're feeling a little behind in your creativity. Not behind. I don't want to have this judgment with it. So let's say you are feeling like you're not putting enough time towards your creative expression. Well, once you are reaching this goal, that's not the case. So what are you doing? Well, let's make time for our painting. Maybe that's something that really allows you to express yourself, and it's something that you've wanted to get back into. I spent time for my painting. It felt fulfilling. And I want to end the script with how we are feeling every day and how we are moving forward. So every day, I feel more aligned. With the life I meant to live. So this tackles all different parts of our goal/intention and how on a daily basis we want to feel, that we feel to get those higher vibes. Okay, so that is scripting. Next is the take action, because nothing happens without action. Yes, manifestation is about cultivating the mindset. It's about the shift in our thoughts, but it's also a shift in our actions and our behaviors, because we need to put in the work. The universe is going to send you opportunities to reach your goals, to manifest. You have to be willing to put in the work to get there. So for instance, one thing that I have found so interesting with manifestation, and it becomes more apparent the more you look for it, is the universe is going to send you the same situation time and time again because it's testing you. It wants to see, are they ready to move forward? Are they ready to make a different decision? Whether it's how you spend your time, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a career, literally in all parts of your life, you're going to be given situations, opportunities. And the universe wants to know, are they ready? Are they really ready to make the decision to be uncomfortable? Are they ready to step outside their comfort zone and go with the path that they normally would say no to, that they normally would say maybe yes to? And they want you to make the opposite decision because that is how you are going to grow and reach this goal. And so it is telling them, hey, I'm not only writing this down, but I'm living it. I am ready to conquer this goal. So maybe for take action, you focus on a small tangible step towards your goal today. So let's say you haven't been making enough time or any time really for something that brings you joy and allows you to tap into your creative expression. It's always this thought of, maybe one day I'll get back into it. I want you to challenge yourself today to get back into it. It doesn't have to be this crazy amount of time. It can be 30 minutes. So today, let's spend 30 minutes doing something that brings us joy. For instance, let's spend 30 minutes today painting. But let's be even more specific for ourselves as to how and when we can get this done. Because if we just write it, that doesn't really make a plan yet. So today I will spend 30 minutes painting, let's say after dinner. How How/what are we going to do it in? Well, maybe you got this watercolor workbook to just get you back into the swing of it. In my watercolor workbook, that gives you a tangible, realistic action step for today. And that is huge, okay? The other thing that we could do is let's reconnect or just connect with someone in our life, because we want to make sure that we are fostering these deep and meaningful relationships. So maybe you haven't called your mom in a while and you're really like, oh, I need to make some time to just do that. So let's just call mom on our way home from work. Just reconnect. Spend time nurturing that relationship or any relationship that's important to you. Okay? And the last thing I want to talk about in terms of taking action is that the reason action is key in manifestation is because manifestation is not just about thinking. It's also about creating the energy you want to receive, being that energy that you want to attract, which is crucial to your journey, okay? Now, the last step on your daily manifestation pages is the evening reflection. It's going to reinforce the positive shifts, but also notice how abundance is already showing up in your life. Because you'll notice over time, as you work towards this energy shift, towards this behavioral shift, towards just this life shift, that the abundance starts to happen without you even noticing. And so I want you to notice. So that way you can be grateful for it. So that way you are recognizing that this work you are putting in is paying off. And that is also going to give you that motivation to keep going. And it's going to help the universe to see, hey, they're grateful for the signs that we're giving them. They're grateful for the opportunities. And even more than that, they're living it. They're diving in. They're saying yes. So when it comes to your evening reflection, let's see, how did the day align with your manifestation? Now, on a daily basis, you will complete your daily mantra, goals, gratitude, self-worth check, scripting, take action in the morning, okay? So let's wake up and over breakfast, we filled out those beginning parts. Then at the end of the day, let's say tonight after we spend that 30 minutes painting, I want you to come back to your evening reflection to see, how did this day go? How did starting my manifestation journey start to shift the way I go about different decisions and different ways I speak to myself? Okay? So I want to fill this out as though it is the end of the day. We've already completed work. Everything has happened that can happen in a day. So, okay, put yourself as though it's the night. The evening reflection is, again, how your day aligned with your manifestation. Did you find yourself repeating your mantra? How was your energy today? Did you notice any angel numbers? How did you take action? Did you take action? If not, ask yourself why, or just to not judge yourself, but recognize maybe there's something different you have to do in order to reach this goal. Okay? So let's start by asking ourselves because calling our mom on our way home from work would happen before painting. So let's ask ourselves, did we do this? Yes. So, right, I had a heartwarming conversation with my mom. this reminded me of the importance of just checking in. It doesn't have to take that long either. And I also want you to ask yourself, okay, so you did do this. How did it make you feel? Did you notice anything different about your energy? Maybe you had something that you really needed to just talk through with your mom. And just by picking up the phone, you were able to get their opinion and you were like, I feel relieved. I feel a little like I can breathe again because you just got that reassurance, that connection that you didn't even know you needed. So I felt, let's write refreshed. Our idea for spring, we want to do this as a little spring refresh, once again, bringing that idea back into it. So I felt refreshed and relieved after the call. The reason I also want you to recognize this part is that it will encourage you to want to do it again, okay? Because this is not just a one-time thing. We have to make sure that we are constantly making this progress. Okay, so that is the first take action reflection. The next, did you spend the time painting? How did that make you feel? Let's say you wrote, I spent 30 minutes today. Maybe you just lost track of time and you ended up spending longer and you were okay with that. I lost track of time painting today. Because why did you lose track? Well, you were really in the moment. You had such an incredible feeling when it came to working on something you were passionate about and something that is really just for you. It's something that just brings you joy and helps you reset at the end of a long day. So let's write that I was fully in the moment. I was fully in the moment. How did it feel? And it felt incredible. How are you feeling in this moment as you are writing this evening reflection? After you started your manifestation journey, check in with yourself. This is going to be important to do on a daily basis to see, okay, how am I feeling today? Not every day you're going to be feeling, wow, I felt super aligned. I felt purposeful. I felt inspired. That's okay. That not every single day is going to feel that way, okay? But it's tapping into the little moments because that's what life's about. Life is truly about those little moments that you have to look for in a daily basis to be living this meaningful life, to be living a life that brings you a feeling of wholeness, okay? Because it's not always about the big things. Oftentimes it's not. And if we are constantly trying to make it about these big things, we're never going to feel satisfied or whole with our current situation, okay? So I'm feeling really aligned today after, I did the take action. I really understood what this journey is about. I'm feeling aligned, and maybe you're also feeling grateful and inspired, okay? That is how you check in with yourself at the end of a day where you really want to start to manifest these feelings, this goal. And as we wrap up our spring refresh workshop today, I want to just remind you that in this example and in life in general, abundance really isn't about the material things. It's about feeling whole. It's about feeling connected. And it's also about feeling aligned with your purpose. It's also about feeling joy. And the more you are recognizing and cultivating these feelings, the more they will naturally expand in your life. And that is really the key when it comes to manifestation and abundance. So I want to thank you all for joining me today for this Spring Refresh Mystic Michaela Manifestation Journal workshop. And as we enter spring, I want you to take with you this idea of cultivating a life filled with purpose, connection, and wholeness. And before we wrap up, I want you to always remember to navigate each day with purpose. Thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Make sure you are following for more content like this, more lives, and I look forward to what this holds. Bye, you guys.